Module 7 is people, HR, and culture.
Yeah, so here, what due diligence covers, it's actually just good HR records. Quite often companies now will have a HR system, an online system where they can actually, there's a lot of good platforms out there. So you've got all employees having employment contracts up to date, all signed, they're all standardized. You've got key person risks as well, like 3 month, 6 month break clauses for notice periods and things like that. So you don't want anyone just leaving as soon as you've sold the business and going off and doing something else. So having all your records up to date from an HR perspective, and that includes holiday allowances. What a lot of companies look at is, have you got any holiday holdover? If the sale goes through 6 months of the year, has the full 6 months holiday allowance been taken, or do they need to allow for that people to have holiday in lieu or be paid, getting paid holiday at the end of the year? All salaries and past salaries, all that documentation, be very clear on. And again, the administration of a good HR system allows you to do that and have all those records in place. Employee records on PAYE, national insurance, bonus schemes, all those things need to be correctly done. P11Ds for employees. Again, having all those records in place allows you, these are quite often tick boxes, but having a good company handbook as well, so that any employers that come on board, having a company handbook in place that you can put to someone, and that's the whole thing. And it's got all the company policies in them. Policies you might think are a tick, but they are a tick box exercise. But again, you've got to have them in place, and it's something that's very easy to put in place. They won't get much challenge, but as long as you've got a policy in place that's there. So having all that in place is really key. Looking at your management team, have you given them incentives to stay on? So, for example, our management team, they had exit bonuses, but had to stay in the business for 6 months to be able to realize those exit bonuses. That could be 12 months if those are key parts of the team. It's up to a buyer to incentivize them to stay on. But again, you've got to weigh up the risk of a buyer's coming in and they are buying your management team as well. So the support of your management team and keeping them on side is absolutely key. So you do need to incentivize them, and whether that's through exit bonus, through shareholder agreements or such like, it doesn't really matter, but they've got to be incentivized. So yeah, overall, just good HR management. Any grievances, disciplinary areas, having those all clearly documented. They don't like bad leavers, potential risk in terms of tribunals and such like. That's what they're looking for. So as clean as you can be on all the HR and company policies.
So given that you won't, as the business owner, you won't be part of the business post-sale, let's assume that, how do you communicate to the team, to the wider team, that either you're preparing for sale or that you definitely in fact are going to exit?
Yeah, so selling a business is an intensive process, and there's lots of activity going in and around that. And you'd be daft not to think that word gets out that something's going on. So I'm a great believer in communication. So I think we structured it in the basis that the business is still growing. Our target to growth are still the same. However, to reach that growth may require potentially additional acquisitions, other investment into the business and such like. So I see someone buying your business as new investment into the business.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we communicated that. I think you've got to communicate with your management team, senior management team, because they are key to the process, because they are being interviewed during the due diligence process.
Mm-hmm.
You can be transparent with your wider team to say that there is discussions going on about investment into the business, and it's all aligned with the strategy and goals of the business that we've communicated to you. Timing of it, you've got to be careful that word doesn't get out at a day-to-day level,
Mm-hmm.
because some employees do not know the intricacy of a business sale, and even telling customers, them just ad hoc telling, oh, we're just about to be sold.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? I mean,
Yep.
you've got to keep it as tight as possible. So keep an inner circle, but be communicative, but that's got to align with the overall message of your company direction, company strategy. The culture of your business is really key for that as well. And quite often, a company's buying you not because they want to get rid of staff, because they want to develop your staff and grow your team. And any purchase inherently does bring great opportunity for the majority of staff in there. A lot of people don't like change, so they fight against it, and it's not like it used to be. But maybe they're not right for the business going forward.
Mhm.
If you don't like change, then in a fast-moving organization, you're not going to succeed that well.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
I think what was really interesting about the way that you sold So Connect is that you always communicated to the team that this was part of the overall growth strategy. You weren't thinking about your last day particularly. You're thinking about, no, this business, our goals are the same. It's just the best way we're going to get to our goals is with somebody else, another organization involved.
yes, absolutely, and it is. I still hold that to this day. I mean, the story we were sold was that the business would run autonomously in a region, and yeah, since then there's been pressure on private equity returns and such like. In fact, the business has now been incorporated into the wider business and such like. So don't get too caught up in you are selling your business. A buyer will tell you what you want to hear to be able to buy your business.
Sure.
Don't get caught up. Of course, you want to leave a legacy. If you also want to see people evolve and develop within your business, I think 90% of the employees that were there when I sold the business are still there, which is great. And some have thrived. Some have really gone on through the organization and really grown within it. But don't be disappointed if the buyer doesn't do what they said they were going to do, because rarely will they.
Yeah.
They will go off and do what they want to do, and you've got no control. So let that go.